This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, controversy continues to loom in the labor movement. President of the Trade Union Congress made a national call this past Labor Day for umbrella organizations to begin rallying its troops to head into a labor battle regarding what they call too many unresolved issues. Tonight, the minister responsible for labor in the country is firing back. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
The Minister of Labor and National Insurance, the Honorable Shane Gibson's visit to Grand Bahama over the Labor holiday weekend, coming as some unions in the country remain up in arms.
I think what happens, like everything else, people sometimes want to do their job, but they want to do yours too. Also, people try to define what is happening in the country based on what they want to see happening. And the fact is, there's a lot of work for labor to do in the country. There's a lot of work for the government to do. I think we're on the right track.
Minister Gibson contends that this controversy is unwarranted, as accessibility to the government by unions stands at an all-time high.
I think the most important thing is that they have access. If you listen to the labor unions prior to the election, they will tell you they didn't have access to government officials. Now they have access. The dialogue is going on. And so when you look at the number of meetings that we hold with them on a regular basis trying to keep the dialogue going, they're in a better position. So now the cry is we want more things done. We want the government to help us more with the private sector issues. And so, we have a role to play, and we'll continue to play that role.
The minister back in the Bahamas after leading a delegation to the 103rd session of the International Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland. There he outlined the government's effort to advance occupational health and safety regulations and expand the Decent Work Country program. The minister says he also highlighted a number of foreign investment initiatives aimed at increasing employment opportunities here in the Bahamas.
The ILO conference went very well. We were well represented by myself, by the ambassador and the ambassador to the ILO, Ms. Rolle Jackson, to the Director of Labor, Mr. Robert Farquharson, to the members of the NCTU and also the TUC as well.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Police say the American man who reportedly drowned in waters off Abaco has been identified as a 63-year-old Russell Weisbender of Kansas. The elderly man was snorkeling with a group off a reef on Mermaid Beach when he failed to resurface. He was recovered from the water and CPR was administered, but he didn't respond. He was later pronounced dead at the Marsh Harbor Clinic. That incident occurred on Monday. As crime continues to grip headlines in the country, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Grand Bahama Division is taking a different approach in the war on crime. Local police forming an alliance with the church that they hope will defeat the criminal element. Sabrina Brown has the details.
The Pastors Forum has joined forces with the Royal Bahamas Police Force in an effort to tackle the issue of crime head-on. Coordinator of the Pastors Forum, Pastor Wilbur Outen.
We have formed a partnership with Assistant Commissioner Seymour and his team here to address some of the community concerns that traditionally have been looked at as police matters, but we recognize that when there's social challenges, it's not only the police, it's the community that should be involved in.
Pastor Outen says the forum started its groundwork several weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, we did a walkabout in the 8 Mile Rock community to get a direct feel for what's going on there and hear from the residents in these communities as to how we can collectively address some of their concerns. So we are on the ground listening to the concerns of the average citizens as we formulate programs to address those issues.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Emric Seymour believes the Christian community has a vital role to play in the fight against crime.
And we know that the department in of itself cannot fight it alone. I often say that the police force is only as strong as the community, country, and the community wants it to be. And so it's because of that reason that we would reach out to the community stakeholders, and as I indicated, the most serious force, which is the church.
Christian Council President Reverend Peter Pinder endorses the partnership between the church and police.
I
really applaud the pastors in the Pastors Forum for the stand that they're taking, because I believe that will make a significant difference in our community and in fighting crime on Grand Bahama.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
The farmers market set to get a facelift, that according to the minister responsible for agriculture, V. Alfred Gray. The minister says funds from this year's budget will go towards redeveloping the market and making it more appealing for the downtown Freeport area.
Well, we have gotten a new plan prepared architecturally for that market, and in this budget I have some allocation to redevelop that site. It is really not what we'd like to see downtown Freeport, and before the end of this budget cycle, I made sure to ensure that I got some money put in my budget to redevelop that site together with the local government council here in Grand Bahama.
Now, Minister Gray says these changes are expected to take place come July 1st.
Revisit that site and make it more aesthetic and more friendly to the people who will visit and buy from that area. It's just not what we'd like to see, and we're going to improve it.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.